Roysambu constituency, and we are at the Garden Estate Secondary School. This is the Tallying Center for Roysambu constituency, and although I would say things are going as probably as scheduled, and so far the IEBC says that 232 polling stations in Roysambu constituency have already finished vote counting, and we are only waiting for one more polling station. This one is in Zimmerman, and it is the Roysambu Primary School, and apparently it is the one with the highest number of registered voters at 14,739. In general, the Roysambu constituency has a total number of registered voters at 153,772. But before I give you more information from what I've gathered, let me bring on board the returning officer here at the Roysambu constituency to give us an update on how the situation has been from the time the results started coming in here at the Roysambu Tallying Center. Welcome on board, sir. His name is Ben Kimani, the returning officer here at the Tallying Center, telling us the mood so far. Where do we stand at?
I would say that the mood is sober. There are no issues. There are no major issues. The candidates have behaved very well. The way we started when we were nominating them, we signed a code of conduct, and they have really adhered to it. Up to this minute, we are doing very well. As you have said, we only have one that has not finished counting in Roysambu, and I believe before the end of the day, we will be through with the process. Yes.
Have we been able to come through any challenges, and what has been the reaction from the presiding officers who are bringing the results to you? Have they been able to get any challenges from their polling stations?
Well, apart from the enormous task which they had at their hand, the rest was moving very well. But the task is too heavy for them. Dealing with 6 ballot election is not a joke. It's not a walk in the park, on the park. So the rest has been successful, but very tiring. Yes.
What would you say would be the expectations in a few hours' time? What time are we expecting to know the final results, the winners from Roysambu constituency?
From the look of things, that will happen before the end of the day, because there are no hitches. We are moving very well, and by the speed that we are moving with, before 7. We'll have results for the winners.
All right, thank you. Although that is Ben Kimani, he's the returning officer for Roysambu constituency Tallying Center. And although security has been heightened, as I said earlier, there is order. Everyone who is supposed to be at this Tallying Center, I would say, knows what he or she is supposed to do and where he or she is supposed to be. And just as the returning officer Ben Kimani has said, that we will be knowing the winner of this election for the member of parliament elector, and also the most preferred woman candidate, the most preferred senator, and also the most preferred governor from the votes that would have come here by the end of the day. And also we will be able to know the members of county assemblies who have been elected by the people here in Roysambu constituency. But then as much as we are only having one polling station that has not finished vote counting, that is the Roysambu Primary School in Zimmerman, there are long queues outside these tallying centers. This tallying center where we have seen the presiding officers putting their documents together, these as they bring to the returning officer. And on my far right, you would be able to see at least 4 officers. These are the ones who are doing the the tallying after the report has been handed over to the returning officer, and the final results will be announced from this point. But then, although earlier on I was in Kasarani constituency, the tallying center is at the Kasarani Sports Center, and it is apparently the same center that we're going to have the Nairobi Tallying Center. At the Nairobi Tallying Center, there are no much activity so far apart from security that has been heightened in the area. Probably we're expecting a beehive of activities later on in the day after all the 17 constituencies in the county of Nairobi have brought in their results. That's why we will know the member of parliament, the member of county assembly elect for Nairobi, and also know the gubernatorial candidate who has been elected by the people of Nairobi, as well as the senator who has been elected by the people of Nairobi. But in this other tallying center where we're having the Kasarani constituency tallying center, by the time I was leaving a few minutes ago, we only had 2 stations that had not submitted their results, and these are Muhure Mushere Secondary School, which is in Ruai, and also the Nile Road Secondary School, which is in Ruai. The Kasarani constituency has a total of 240 polling stations. Out of these, 238 had submitted their results to the returning officer in Kasarani constituency, and the front runners, the candidates who are the 4 are the independent candidates Ronald Karuri and Masi Gakuya of Jubilee, and also John Joroge of UDA. So Kuria and Olo, as well as Jane, we are not putting it to an end at this point. We'll be going round the county of Nairobi to give you the results. They are being announced by the returning officers before the results are being taken to the tallying center at Kasarani, the Nairobi County Tallying Center.